Welcome to another episode of the Black Dot Podcast, Healing for the Soul. And today, y'all, I wanted to do something kind of different a little bit. And if you remember on last season, we did an episode about forgiveness. And shockingly, a lot of you all really took a liking to that episode. And I say that because once again, I really don't know, how big it's going to be when I, share things. I really don't know who's going to be able to relate and all of that, but a lot of you have. And I wanted to kind of touch on that again, but from a different perspective. Um, in talking about forgiveness, I realized that on my journey of becoming or evolving into the space I'm going in now, if that's the better way to say it, I realized that I had to really learn how to forgive my mom for the things that she didn't know. And when I say that, what I mean is, growing up, I always, felt like, especially once I started dealing with depression and all of that stuff, I started, feeling like, I want to tell my mom I'm going through this, but I don't know how to, you know, put the words out, or I want to tell her I'm dealing with this, but I don't want to put the words out. I didn't really know how to express what I was going through, and for me, looking back on that journey, I had to realize that a lot of arguments, disagreements we had. I think for me, what I realized is I processed it so differently because for me, in dealing with anxiety and in dealing with depression, for me, it may be, and I don't know if it's like that for other people who are dealing. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. But for me, I know for me, I took things. I took things maybe a little bit worse than the average person. And so, I would try to have these conversations and I would try to, mom, this is what I'm going through, and I'm feeling this way, and I'm feeling, and she would sit there, she would look at me and be like, okay, I'm following you, but I don't understand what you're saying. And I think for me, I tried to put it in a way, you know, where I'm trying to express that this is something serious that I'm really going through, but I didn't want to, put it in a way where it alarmed her. I didn't want her to have to worry about, me in that aspect, but I wanted her to know, I know for me, something's off with me, not saying in a, crazy way or anything like that, but something, something is a little weird with me. I know for me, what I'm used to, I'm not feeling right, I'm not feeling my best, and for years, we had this sort of distance between us, not saying a physical distance, but we had this type of, thing where we almost like we were walking on eggshells with each other. She didn't really know what to say and how much to say to me. I didn't really know what to say or how much to say to her because we didn't want to upset the other person. And I think, for us, it was a difficult time. And I remember, my mom and we were having a conversation, and she said, there are some things that you tell me you go through. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't understand it. And it's not that I don't want to understand, it's not that I'm brushing you off, it's not that I don't care, it's just I don't know. And I remember I asked her, like, what do you mean by that? She was like, you tell me you are going through depression. I don't know what that's like. And she would tell me, I don't know what to say to make it better. I don't know if there's anything I can say to make it better. I don't want to, you know, I don't want you to feel like, I don't care or I don't love you. And, and hearing that for a long time, it made me wonder, like, what the hell does that mean? You don't know, and I think because I was so in the process of trying to really understand it myself. I think I was getting frustrated that, the person that, you know, gave me life, the person that, you know, raised me, she doesn't understand me. It left me feeling disconnected, from the person who, I should never feel like that, and I say all that to say it took me a while to really understand, you know, what she was saying. And, you know, I had to really forgive my mom because sometimes when you don't know, you just don't know. And it's not that it's a mean thing. It's not that it's a malicious thing. It's just, you just don't know. I think sometimes we feel like our parents should be able to read us like a book, but the truth is, we complicated as hell. That's the truth. We're complicated beings. We're all different. We all process things very different, and for me, I had to realize that my experience is not her experience, and I can't make her understand my experience, just like she can't make me understand hers. It doesn't make us bad people. It doesn't make us, crazy or anything like that. It's just our experiences are different, and we have to be able to forgive ourselves for what we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, I had to really make peace with the fact that, just because my mother didn't understand that one part of me, or she didn't, understand in that moment, that doesn't make her a bad mom. That doesn't make her a terrible person. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I respected the fact that she said, I don't know, you know, and it's so many of us. And I told that story because that's my experience. But there's so many people who experiences may be different. Your experience may be more complicated, might be a little bit more simpler. I don't know. But there's a great deal of us who are walking around with trauma, with hurt, with pain from experiences with our parents that we never fully got to heal. We never fully got to deal with. And it's a lot of us that are walking around as adults, but the child in us never got that healing. There's so many of us who are walking around as fully functional adults, but there's that child that's screaming, saying, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need that. And I think for me personally, I know, there were times where there were things that I wanted from my mom, and other people, yeah, it's one thing for other people to love you, yeah, but it's not the same if it's not coming from her. It's not the same. People tell you I'm proud of you, or you a good person. Yeah, that's nice. I'm glad y'all think that, but it don't hit the same coming from her. And I think a lot of us feel or have felt like that. I want to tell you, forgive yourself and forgive your mom or your dad for the things that they simply did not know. Now let me make this clear, because there are some parents, being real with y'all, there are some parents that just don't give a damn. There are. But there are so many parents who have made mistakes. They did the best they could with the cards they were dealt. And I think that in us trying to be our better selves and us trying to really seek peace, forgive yourself and forgive your mom or forgive your dad, because there's nothing more powerful than walking around with no weights on you. Anger and grief, trauma and pain, it's those are weights. And every time you try to move in life, those weights are holding you down. A lot of us are wondering why we can't move from the next point to, we can't move from this point to the next point. It's because we're weighed down. So it's harder, we can't really move as free as we want, you know. And trust me, like I said in the last episode, forgiveness is a process. That thing ain't no, don't let nobody lie to you and tell you that thing is overnight, because it's not. Forgiveness is a process. And nobody can tell you how long your process has to take. Nobody can tell you. And the thing about forgiveness, there's a thing of, I forgive you and I want to start back over. But there's also, I forgive you and I love you, but I wish you the best from over there. I'll be over here, but you over there. I wish you all that at your table. You can't sit at mine. And that doesn't mean you wish them any bad. That doesn't mean you wish them any ill will. That just means I recognize what you did. I see you for who you are. And I'm deciding that I either want to partake or I don't. And you can't make me feel no other way. We're all on a journey. We're all on a journey of trying to be at our best, our fullest potential. And for some of us, life is not fair. It's never been fair for us. It probably never will. But while we have the life that we have the choice to make it the best life we can make it, or we can make the choice to stay stagnant. I'm sorry, y'all. I have those moments where I start to, I peep something about myself every time I record one of these. One of the things that I wish that I knew back then, I wish that I took the time to really understand what my mom was saying. I really wish that I took the time to really see things from her point of view. And I say that because a lot of times, so many of us are so quick to communicate only because we want to defend a point, only because we want to have a rebuttal. But a lot of us don't know how to effectively communicate, meaning that we're talking out an issue and I get to actually hear you. I get to actually understand where you're coming from, and I get to comprehend that point that you're trying to make, and you do the same. I wish that we would have taken the time to really see where each other is coming from. Now, don't get me wrong. That's my dog. We good. We good. That's my dog. But we went through our growing pains. And in recording this and thinking as I'm recording, I wish that we would have taken the time to really understand what each other, what we were saying. And I wish that I would have, really given her more grace than what I did. Because a lot of what she was saying, like I said, she told me straight up, I don't know. And to hear her tell me, she told me recently, she was like, she's probably gonna like kick my ass with me telling all this, but it's okay. It's okay. She told me recently, she was like, I know that there's some things that I messed up on. I take full accountability. But some things I just didn't know. And now looking at things, now I understand, and that did so much for me, more than she even realized. It did so much for me. And maybe a lot of you are waiting to hear that. Maybe a lot of you, you wish you heard it. I want to tell you, allow yourself and allow your parents or whoever in your life is whoever you're going through. This is just me talking about some things I learned. But whoever that opposing force is in your life, allow yourself and allow them a little bit more grace, because you never know. You never know. There could be something that they're missing from your point of view, something you might be missing from their point of view. So allow yourself and allow them a little bit more grace, so that we really can start forgiving ourselves for the things that we just we didn't know. Because we sit and we beat ourselves up sometimes about, I wish I did this, I wish I could have said that. A whole bunch of shoulda, woulda, couldas. It makes no sense for all that. Because we just didn't know. And let's start being thankful for the things we know now. Because it's never too late to unlearn these healthy traits. It's never too late to unlearn these toxic things. It's never too late. The first step is just us wanting to do it and wanting to be better. I hope I hope that this really, really did something for somebody today, because I needed it, but I feel like somebody else does too. So whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever state of mind you are in, whatever situation you're going through, it gets better. It gets better. Let this be a sign. If you were praying for a sign, let this be a sign today that it will get better. I'm living proof of that. Me and my mom are the closest we've ever been in God knows how many years. We are your proof. So until next time, y'all.
Cloud. Yeah. Beats.
By any means, stay moving, gotta go hard. Rarely get sleep, focus, making figures large. Everybody down till it's time to play a part. No time to lounge, put that lazy shit apart. By any means, be the man with the plan. Why waste time when you can be making cash? Forever with some no, but the shows that I can. She ain't about the business, then don't wanna, yeah, I pass. Fuck it, tell the boys they should start retreating. Fuck it, tell the boys that it's fugal season.